There is a turning point already in motion for you, Pisces, and it is happening whether you can see it clearly yet or not. The month is not over. The story is not written. And the universe, which has always had a particular tenderness for those born under your sign, is already arranging the pieces of your life into something that will make more sense very soon. You have been through a stretch of confusion, of waiting, of feeling like you were doing all the right things and still not quite arriving where you were meant to be. That stretch is ending. What comes next is alignment, not the kind that lands all at once in a single dramatic moment, but the kind that builds day by day, quietly and steadily, until one morning you wake up and realize that your life has shifted into something that finally feels like it belongs to you. Pisces, you are one of the most spiritually connected signs in the entire zodiac. You feel the currents of change before they arrive on the surface. And what you have been feeling lately, that low hum of something about to shift, that pull towards something better and more true, is not your imagination. It is your intuition recognizing what is already in motion. This video is about the 11 ways life is starting to align for you before this month ends. Every single one of them is already present in your life in some form. Pay attention. Trust what you feel. Your time is now. Way 1. The emotional fog is beginning to lift. For a while, Pisces, things felt murky. Your emotions were layered on top of each other in ways that were hard to sort through. You were feeling things you could not name, carrying weights you could not identify, moving through your days with a sense that something important was unclear. That fog was not a sign that something was wrong with you. It was the necessary in-between space, the pause between one chapter and the next, the breath before the new note begins. And now that fog is starting to lift. You are waking up with a little more clarity than you had the day before. You are noticing that your thoughts are settling. The emotional noise that has been surrounding you is quieting, and in that quiet, you are starting to hear your own voice again. The voice beneath the anxiety, beneath the worry, beneath the stories you have been telling yourself about why things are hard. For Pisces, emotional clarity is everything. When you are clouded, you cannot see your path. When your inner world is tangled, your outer world reflects that tangle. But when you begin to find your center again, when the waters calm and you can see through them all the way to the bottom, everything starts to move differently. Decisions that felt impossible become obvious. Relationships that felt confusing reveal their true nature. Opportunities that seemed hidden become visible. The lifting fog is the first way life is aligning for you this month, and it is the foundation for everything else that follows. Allow the clarity to come. Do not rush it, but do not push it away. Let it settle over you the way morning light settles over water. You are coming back to yourself, Pisces. That is where alignment always begins. Way 2. The right people are beginning to show up. You may have noticed a quiet shift in the social landscape of your life. Someone new has entered, or is about to enter, who carries a different kind of energy than the people you have been surrounded by. Or someone who has been in your life for a while is suddenly present in a new way, showing you a depth or a sincerity you had not fully seen before. The people who are finding their way into your orbit right now are not there by accident. Alignment, for Pisces, always has a deeply relational quality. Your growth happens in connection. Your healing happens in relationship. Your purpose is expressed through the love, care, and creative energy you share with others. So when the right people begin to appear, it is one of the clearest signs that your life is moving into a better position. The right people for this season of your life are the ones who see you clearly. Not the idealized version of you, not the version that exists to serve their needs, but the real you, the complex, sensitive, deeply feeling, endlessly creative person that you actually are. They are the ones who ask real questions and listen to the real answers. They are the ones whose presence makes you feel more like yourself rather than less. Watch for them. Some will arrive quietly without fanfare. Others you will recognize immediately with a sense of familiarity that goes beyond the rational. Pisces is deeply attuned to soul-level recognition, that feeling of having known someone before even when the logical mind has no explanation for it. When you feel that, pay attention. The right people showing up is the universe's way of building your support system for what is ahead. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. Way 3. A door you stopped believing in is opening again. There is something you wanted, Pisces. Something you hoped for, worked toward, believed in, and then at some point you quietly let go of the hope. Maybe you told yourself it was not realistic. Maybe someone told you that it was not for you, and you believed them more than you believed yourself. Maybe time passed and the hope got buried under the weight of daily life and the practical demands of survival. But that thing you let go of, that door you stopped believing would open, is not as closed as you thought. Something is shifting around it. You might be noticing small signs, a conversation that touches on it unexpectedly, an opportunity that seems tangentially related, a feeling that returns when you think about it that feels like longing rather than grief. That longing is important, Pisces. It is the soul's compass. When something still pulls at you after all this time, it is because it is still yours. It was not taken from you. It was waiting. Alignment does not mean the path was always easy or clear. It means that the path was always there, even when you could not see it. The door you stopped believing in is not opening because luck changed or because circumstances randomly shifted. It is opening because you are ready for it in a way you were not before. The experiences of the waiting time, as hard as they have been, have prepared you. You are wiser now. You are more grounded now. You are more certain of what you want and why you want it. And that combination of readiness and desire is exactly what turns a door from closed to open. Walk toward it, Pisces. It is waiting for you. Wait for. Your creative energy is returning. There was a period of stillness in your creative life, and you felt it even if you could not explain why. The inspiration that usually flows so naturally for Pisces, that gift for seeing beauty and meaning and story in everything, had gone quiet. You would sit down to create and feel nothing there. Or the ideas would come but feel flat, without the spark that normally makes them sing. You might have worried that you had lost something essential, that the creative wellspring had dried up. But Pisces, creative stillness is not creative death. For your sign, periods of apparent emptiness are often the deepest periods of internal filling. The well was not empty, it was being replenished, and now the energy is coming back. You can feel it in small ways at first. A sudden desire to make something with your hands. An idea that arrives fully formed and refuses to be ignored. A song that moves through you and wants to be expressed. A story that starts writing itself in your mind. This return of creative energy is not trivial. For Pisces, creativity is spiritual. It is the direct expression of your connection to Neptune and to the deeper currents of life. When your creativity returns, it means your connection to Source is being restored. It means you are coming back into alignment with your deepest nature. And it means that the things you create in this upcoming period will carry a quality and a depth that reflects everything you went through during the quiet time. What is born from a period of stillness is always richer, always truer, than what is made without having walked through the emptiness first. Let the creativity flow, Pisces. Whatever comes through you right now, let it come. Way 5. A financial shift is beginning to take shape. The pressure you have been feeling around money and resources is not permanent, Pisces, even though it has felt that way for long enough to make you doubt. Something is shifting in this area of your life. It may not yet be visible in your bank account, but it is visible in the energy around the situation. There is movement where there was stagnation. There is an opening where there was a wall. It may come in the form of an opportunity you did not expect, a resource that appears from a direction you were not looking. It may come through a new idea you have for how to create income that is more in alignment with your gifts, rather than contrary to them. Pisces, you are at your most resourceful when you are working from your strengths, your empathy, your creativity, your intuitive understanding of people and what they need. When you build financial pathways that honor who you are rather than asking you to be someone you are not, those pathways tend to be more stable and more fulfilling. The financial shift that is beginning is connected to this realignment. It is connected to you stepping more fully into your authentic gifts, rather than dimming them to fit into structures that were never built for someone like you. Watch for the opportunity. It may look unconventional. It may not look exactly like what you expected. But when you feel that click of recognition, that sense of this fits who I am, that is the sign to lean in. The resources are moving in your direction, Pisces. Stay open. Way 6. Your body is sending you clear signals. Pisces is a sign that absorbs. You take in the emotional atmosphere of the places and people around you the way a sponge takes in water. And over time, if you are not conscious about releasing what you absorb, it settles into the body. It creates tension in the shoulders and heaviness in the chest, and a low-level exhaustion that sleep does not fully fix. You have been feeling some of this, and lately your body has been communicating with you about it more clearly than before. Maybe you have been craving rest more than usual, or craving movement, or craving certain foods, or noticing discomfort in specific areas of your body that are asking for attention. This clarity from your body is part of the alignment process. Before life can shift into a better position externally, the body often demands that you take better care of it internally. Your body is where your emotions live, Pisces. Your heart center, your stomach, your solar plexus, these are the places where you feel everything, and they are the places that need the most care during a period of significant transition. The alignment that is coming for you this month includes a physical element. It includes you honoring what your body is asking for. Rest when it asks for rest. Move when it wants to move. Nourish it with what it genuinely needs rather than what is merely convenient. When you care for your physical home with the same tenderness you offer to others, your energy clears. Your intuition sharpens. Your path becomes easier to see. Take care of the body, Pisces. It is the instrument through which everything else in your life is experienced. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. Way 7. A long-standing pattern is finally breaking. There is something you have done over and over again, Pisces, a way of responding to a certain kind of situation that has never served you well but that has felt, until now, impossible to change. Maybe it is the pattern of giving too much and then feeling depleted. Maybe it is the pattern of staying in situations too long past the point when leaving would have been kinder to everyone, including yourself. Maybe it is the pattern of trusting people who show you very early on that they are not trustworthy, because your nature is to believe in the best of everyone, and you extend grace so generously that you sometimes extend it to people who are not using it well. Whatever the pattern is, you know what it is. You have known for a long time, and something is different now. You are catching yourself in the familiar moment where the old pattern would take over, and instead of following it automatically, you are pausing. You are noticing. You are asking yourself if you want to do this again or if this is finally the time to choose differently. That pause is everything. That pause is where the pattern breaks. Breaking a long-standing pattern is not usually a dramatic single moment. It is a series of small moments where you choose differently than you have before. Each small choice weakens the old groove and starts to carve a new one. You are in the beginning of that process right now, and it is one of the most significant ways your life is aligning this month. The pattern breaking is not a sign that you were broken. It is a sign that you have grown strong enough to choose something better. Way 8. Synchronicities are increasing around you. You see a number and then that same number appears again 3 times in the same day. You think of someone and within moments they reach out. You read a line in a book and then hear the same idea expressed almost word for word in a conversation hours later. You have a question you have been carrying, and the answer arrives through an unexpected source at exactly the moment you needed it. Synchronicities are the language of alignment, Pisces. They are the universe's way of confirming that you are on the right path, that the invisible forces at work in your life are in motion, that what seems like coincidence is anything but. As a sign ruled by Neptune and deeply attuned to the spiritual dimension of life, you are more capable than most of recognizing synchronicities when they appear. The challenge is not in seeing them but in trusting them. The logical mind wants to explain them away, to call them coincidences, to find a rational reason why they do not mean what they seem to mean. But your heart knows differently. Your intuition, which has always been one of your greatest strengths, recognizes the synchronicity for what it is. An increasing number of synchronicities in your life right now is the universe's way of turning up the volume on a message it has been trying to send you. That message is, you are on the right track. Keep going. The things you have been asking for, praying for, dreaming of are not lost. They are in motion. Keep walking toward them. The synchronicities are the breadcrumbs on the path. Follow them. Way 9. You are making peace with the past. Something you have been carrying for a long time, a grief, a regret, a memory that would arrive in the quiet moments and press against your chest, is beginning to lose its sharp edges. It is not that it disappears. The deep feeling Pisces carries does not simply vanish, but the way you are holding it is changing. You are beginning to look at the past, including the parts that were painful, with something closer to understanding than to anguish. You are finding, perhaps slowly and not yet completely, a kind of compassion for yourself and for the people involved in those old chapters. This making peace is not about pretending things did not hurt or that choices were not made that should not have been. It is not about excusing what was harmful or minimizing what was real. It is about releasing the grip that the past has had on your present. It is about recognizing that you were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time, and so were the others involved, even if that best was not enough, even if it left marks. For Pisces, making peace with the past is a spiritual act. Your sign carries the memory of the soul, the deep knowing of how things have felt and what they have meant. When you release the past from the role of judge and jailer and instead allow it to be simply what it was, a part of your story rather than the whole of it, something in you opens. Space that was locked up by the weight of old pain becomes available for new life. And that opening is a profound and beautiful form of alignment. You are making peace, Pisces. That is no small thing. Way 10. A relationship is becoming clearer. There is a connection in your life that has been ambiguous, and the ambiguity has cost you. Not knowing where you stand, not knowing what the other person truly wants, not knowing if what you are feeling is returned or recognized or even real to the other person, that uncertainty has been draining your energy in ways you might not have fully acknowledged. Something is shifting here. The fog around this particular relationship is beginning to lift, and with it comes clarity that, while it may be complicated, is better than the uncertainty. You are going to understand more clearly where this connection stands, what it truly is, and what it has the capacity to be. That understanding may come through a direct conversation. It may come through the behavior of the other person becoming unmistakable in its meaning. It may come through your own internal clarity suddenly sharpening so that what was confused becomes obvious. However it arrives, the clarity around this relationship is one of the most important ways your life is aligning this month. Because Pisces, you were not meant to live in relational fog. You were not meant to pour your enormous capacity for love and connection into something that remains undefined. You deserve to know where you stand. You deserve clarity. And this month, clarity is what is coming. Whatever this relationship turns out to be in the light of that clarity, you will be better equipped to move forward honestly. And that honesty, even when it is not what you hoped for, is always the foundation for something real. Way 11. The version of you who knows better is taking the lead. This is the way that contains all the others because everything we have discussed, the lifting fog, the right people, the open doors, the returning creativity, the breaking patterns, the synchronicities and peace and clarity, all of it is possible because of this one essential shift. The version of you who has learned from every hard experience, who has grown through every season of confusion and grief, who has accumulated wisdom through every relationship and mistake and triumph, that version of you is stepping forward. You have always had this version inside you. It has been present in every moment, quietly watching, quietly knowing. But in the past, the fearful version, the one who stayed too long and gave too much and talked itself out of its own knowing, often took the lead. Not because you were weak, not because you were foolish, but because that fearful version was also formed by real experiences, real pain, and real vulnerability. Now something is changing in the balance between those two versions of you. The wiser version, the one who knows what you need and is willing to ask for it, who trusts the intuition and follows it, who recognizes a bad pattern and chooses not to repeat it, is taking the lead. This is the most profound form of alignment available to any human being. When the wisest version of yourself is the one making the choices, everything else begins to fall into place. Relationships become more honest. Opportunities become more visible. The path forward becomes clearer. This is what is happening for you, Pisces, before this month is over. The wiser you is here. Trust it. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. There is something you need to know about alignment, Pisces, something that your sign in particular needs to hear. Alignment is not the same as ease. It does not mean that everything becomes smooth and effortless and painless overnight. Some of the ways your life is aligning this month will require courage. Some will ask you to have conversations you have been avoiding. Some will invite you to release things that you have been holding on to out of habit or fear, rather than out of genuine love or genuine need. Alignment can look like loss in the short term, even when it is leading to something far better in the long term. The two fish of Pisces swim in opposite directions not as a contradiction, but as a symbol of holding complexity with grace. You have always been capable of holding two truths at once, the pain and the beauty, the ending and the beginning, the grief and the gratitude. That capacity is not a burden. It is your superpower. As life aligns around you this month, you will need that superpower. You will need to be able to sit with the discomfort of change without running from it, to feel the weight of what is ending without losing sight of what is beginning, to trust the process even when you cannot see the full picture. Neptune, your ruling planet, rules not just dreams and intuition but also the ocean itself. And the ocean does not apologize for its depth. It does not make itself smaller so that those who are afraid of depth can feel more comfortable. You Pisces have an ocean inside you. The alignment that is happening this month is an invitation to stop making yourself smaller and to let that ocean be exactly what it is. Vast, powerful, beautiful, and full of life. The 11 ways we walk through today are not predictions. They are recognitions. They are the universe's way of saying through this message that what you have been feeling is real, that what you have been moving toward is close, and that the life you have been dreaming of is not as far away as it has sometimes seemed. Trust the alignment, Pisces. It is happening. It is real, and you deserve every bit of it.